Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Your Health Matters. Today, we will be talking about high cholesterol. And I am on the podcast today with someone who, a public person of the public, who has volunteered, kind of twist her arm a little bit. People don't like talking about their health, but you know what? She volunteered a little bit willingly to talk about her health today because she understands that. Um, we could be helping someone else with health issues as well. So we have Sakithia Berry here that does have high cholesterol, and we're going to find out more about her issues with high cholesterol. But we also have a chef on our line today. Our chef today, I'm very happy to have her on with us today. She had a little bit of a can I talk about the surgery you had on your foot there, Chef?
Sure.
Yes, she worked so much. She had to get surgery done on her foot, but trust and believe she will be back out there with those vegan festivals and everything else going on for next year. But
Definitely.
there's nothing wrong with her mouth. So we have her on the show today, and we truly, truly appreciate that. So they do have a company, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you. Sakithia, you can start, okay? Give me 1 second.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sakithia Berry. Our business is Sister Serving You. We're located in Greenbelt. I do all the leg work for the chef. Mm-hmm. And I am the taste dummy, not the test dummy, but the taste dummy, so to speak. And I come up with a lot of the creative ideas, and I also sign us up for all of the events that we do.
Mm-hmm. I have a question. I understand that you're a little bit of a comedian as well.
I try. Well, that's how actually we started. We started her. She was in the kitchen cooking, and I just would come in there and make some jokes. So that's how Sister Serving You Comedy Kitchen started. So we wanted to drop it at one time, but it kind of pays homage to where we started. So that's the whole premise behind the Comedy Kitchen.
All right. And I have tried some of you guys' food, and I'm telling you, Sister Serving You, you guys cook about as good as I do. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Chef Shanta, I don't want any smoke. All right. And Chef Shanta, if you can introduce yourself to our audience that we have out here today.
Hello, my name is Chef Shanta. I'm behind the Sister Serving You. We have our own line of barbecue sauces that we praying that will be in the stores next year. We're also home of the sweet potato cheesecake, vegan and non-vegan. So we kind of do both. I guess a delicious desserts. That's one of the things two of the things that we are really known for that are our signatures. Uh, we actually kicked off our barbecue sauce in 2019, the beginning of 2019, and it's just basically taking a mind of its own from there.
All right. Well, you know what? I can vouch for that barbecue sauce, and I also can vouch for that sweet potato cheesecake. All right? It is absolutely delicious. You can put the barbecue sauce on anything. I roasted some cauliflower, and I had the barbecue sauce, and I just put it on the barbecue sauce, and my kids were picking it up like it was just potato chips. I mean, it was you can put it on because everyone knows that I do not eat meat. I am vegan. So I mean, I definitely love the barbecue sauce. And forgive me, everyone, those that do not know me. Oh my God, I didn't introduce myself.
Yeah.
My name is Shay Brown. I am CEO and founder of SBB Fit for Life. I am a family nurse practitioner. I am a personal trainer. I am a certified plant-based nutritionist. I am a certified obesity management specialist, and I'm also a certified cannabis provider. Okay, so we started Your Health Matters because as a family nurse practitioner, we're only allowed to give, visits of 15 minutes. So, with this Your Health Matters, it kind of like helps us reach out to the public a little bit more so they can ask questions, and I can educate more about chronic illnesses and diseases to kind of like help to get better quality of life. So tonight, our topic tonight is all about high cholesterol. And again, we have Sakithia here that was diagnosed with high cholesterol. And do you want to tell us exactly when you were diagnosed with high cholesterol, Ms. Berry, and just tell us the discussion that you actually had with your doctor?
I was diagnosed a few years ago. I was probably at my heaviest weight when it started, which was 236 pounds. That was my highest.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, it scared me. It's sometimes we can get scared to the point of change, or we can just get scared to the point of we just do nothing. I got scared to the point I wanted to change.
Right.
I still deal with the well, okay, so let me start with the conversation with the doctor. So I was always fearful of being prescribed medicine that I would have to take for the rest of my life to control something. So I kind of panicked when she said, if you don't get this cholesterol down, we're gonna prescribe you some medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to get this weight off you, and you need to exercise.
So, a quick question for you before you continue. Do you feel to believe that your weight contributed to the high cholesterol?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. As someone who dealt with depression played a part in it too, because my part of the depression is a spiral. And once you spiral and you're in that, somewhat, I won't say, I guess it's listed as the dark place, or mentally you're just not functioning correctly.
Right.
And so that played a part in it. Also, I watched my mom yo-yo diet for years, and that played a part in the cycle of gaining the weight, losing the weight, gaining the weight, losing the weight. I would get comfortable once I lost the weight and thought that I could still do what I used to do, and the weight would miraculously stay off, which is a game mentally you play with yourself. And until you step on that scale, and it makes you face the reality of your situation, along with the conversation with your doctor saying that if you don't lose this weight, then we're going to put you on some medication.
Why do you think people are so afraid of a scale? I mean, it's a measurement. It's a measurement of how well you're doing with your body. And I find that a lot of people like, girl, I don't want to get on the scale. But that's like me checking your blood pressure. That's the only way I know how to treat a blood pressure. But people, for some reason, they don't want to get on that scale. But I also have a question for you, Chef Ashanta, after she answered this question here.
Yes.
Well, the thing is that I can lie to myself.
Right.
But because if the doctor says, well, how's your eating? And you're like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm cutting out this, or I'm doing that. Well, okay, if you're doing what you should be doing, then that scale shouldn't be up 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So I can play the mental game with myself.
Right.
But then when the scale tells the truth to my doctor, I've been unveiled. My lie has been unveiled, and now I have to confront some hard truths.
Right. So, Chef Ashanta, in your expertise, knowing that you have people that may have high cholesterol, what are some of the basic oils? Let's start with some oils that you would tell them to kind of like to stay away from.
One of the, but it's so crazy. It's one of the, I would say one of the known oils that everybody runs to, and that's canola oil. And if you really think about it, there's no fruit, vegetable that says canola.
Hmm.
So a lot of the oils that you would really want to use, like honestly, are like your grapeseed oils, your walnut oils, um, your avocado oils,
Hmm.
because they have the good stuff in it. That's what I'm gonna say. When people, they don't have all of the bad stuff that's added to it, and then people don't know they have higher smoke points, which once you get to the smoke point of each oil, the gas that burns off, it starts to become toxic.
Right.
So a lot of people don't know that, and also your olive oils, but you when you're using olive oil, you want to use a better grade olive oil.
Hmm.
um
Not the cheap
and
one that's for like $7. You want to get the one that's like 11 and 13.
and
So I can't go get the one that's
it's so
$7
bad though.
anymore.
But I tell anybody, even for people who are feeling this wave of the economics and people's pockets, if you make the effort, regardless of what it is,
Hmm.
regardless of you making that effort, yeah, you may not be able to afford a higher content olive oil or the grapeseed oils or any of, but if you try and you're using something, you're using olive oil instead of your canola, instead of the vegetable, or
Hmm.
people using lard. Yeah, people still use lard.
Right.
So if you're making those small efforts, it still will come through. It still will make an impact in your diet and in your cholesterol.
Okay. So, Sakithia, so when you went into the doctor's office and she talked about your cholesterol levels, there's this panel called a lipid panel. Okay.
Yeah.
And on that panel, it has so many different um um I want to say links, but they're not links, but so many different geez, I can't even think right now. Let's put labels for right now. Okay, it's been a long day, guys. So let's
Okay.
just say labels, okay, that are like indications of cholesterol levels that people have. So when we say cholesterol, we look at a person's total cholesterol in the office. We look at your LDL, we look at your HDL, we look at your triglycerides. So when you went into the office, I mean, your total cholesterol, let's say that, she said that your total cholesterol was high. Normally, total cholesterol is supposed to be less than 200.
200. Yeah.
Okay. Can we say that yours was less than 200? That's a total. That's everything combined. Total cholesterol is just less than 200.
Um, mine was 202,
202. Okay.
which
All right.
wasn't bad, which
Not
wasn't bad.
no, not bad.
But
Not
then
bad.
what happened was, uh, she just put a little bug in my ear about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
we'd like to see it, below 2. You're right at the cusp. Just do some work. Well, I didn't take it seriously, and I didn't do the work.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you. So I didn't do it. I ate everything I wanted to eat. I did what
Right.
I wanted to do.
Right.
I went back, and it jumped to 224.
Ooh.
And she looked at me and said, "What are you not doing that you were supposed to be doing?"
She see what you're doing.
And
Numbers
and
don't
and
lie.
like I said, you can lie to yourself about it,
Right.
but when they run that lab work, I had no idea, to be honest, that cholesterol told a lot about what you're digesting and
Oh
what
yeah.
you're intaking, and
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
so yeah. So that that really scared me. So I was like I said, at my highest I was 236.
Constantly
um
going up.
yeah. I started suffering from inflammation,
Mm-hmm.
um
Yeah.
uh shortness of breath,
Mm-hmm.
um
Now, do
just
you think that was
overall
just from the
fatigue,
cholesterol, or was that from the weight?
the weight, the
Okay.
cholesterol, everything was just taking a toll.
Right.
um you know um Tying my shoe I get winded, just trying to bend over, tie my shoe.
Right.
And I was like, okay, come on now. You got to do better.
Right.
Nobody's going to do it for you. She can't do it.
Right.
So, and it's funny. I was told that the cholesterol comes from the animal.
Well, I'm going to go.
Something like that. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I
know. Let me fix
but it's
that
just
for
something.
you.
Okay, so then I was told to cut out seafood for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny. She's telling me that for my health, and I'm looking at her like, well, you better be glad it's wintertime.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because psychologically, I was not ready to give up something that I enjoy,
right,
for my betterment.
Okay.
So I'm ashamed to say it, but I did. I literally said, you better be glad it's wintertime.
Right.
Because if it was summer, we'd have a problem.
Right.
Well, we wouldn't have a problem. I would have the problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when she mentioned to you that it's mostly animals because high cholesterol levels, I'm going to touch on that in a minute. Okay. I just want to keep going through these numbers right quick, but I am going to touch on how cholesterol levels, how they increase. All right.
Okay.
So another level that we look at as well when we go into the office is called LDLs. Okay.
Okay.
LDLs. I'm not going to go through that whole long name because guess what? You guys won't remember it. All right. Just know LDL, which is called bad cholesterol. All right. Know that. LDL. Trust me, I'm not going to say that name, what it is. No one's going to remember it. I barely remember it when I was in school. How about that one? But know that it has to be less than 100. Okay. So when we see that number up and we see your cholesterol number up as well, that's telling me as a provider that, hey, look, this person really needs an intervention. Okay. Well, I wonder if you exercise. Well, the patient will come in and say, yeah, doc, I exercise. And their HDL, and it's a man, is 22. Now for men, the HDL has to be greater than 50. 40 for men. Okay? The HDL. All right. I hope you guys are writing this down so you can be highly educated when you go into your doctor's office. So you can ask them, what is my HDL? What is my LDL? What is my triglyceride? What is my total cholesterol? I've been exercising. Did my HDL improve? And they're going to be like, wait a minute. Why are you so high? Okay. Because it's good for you guys to know these things. Why is it good for you guys to know these things? Because when you go into the doctor's office, it makes it easier to treat you. All right. So the HDL for men, which is your good cholesterol, and that good cholesterol, your HDL, lets us know if you have been exercising or not. That's what the HDL measures. All right. So in men, I don't know why they always picking on us women. And then they have our HDL as being 50 or more. Reason why? Because we carry more fat. We have to exercise. Okay. We bear children. We carry more fat. Men don't have to exercise as much as we do.
Right.
I tell you. Just sad. But anyway, you have to make sure that your HDL is greater. Okay. So greater than 50 for women, greater than 40 for men. But then there's this other one. So lets me know just how much fatty foods that you've been eating. Now, if you come in my office and you're saying, hey, look, I have not been having any greasy foods. I have not been having any fatty foods, but your triglycerides is 196. What is your triglycerides supposed to be? Less than 150. So it goes right back to what you were saying before. You can lie to yourself as much as you want, but the measurements, those numbers, they do not lie.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we talk about weight loss, when we talk about improving our cholesterol levels. When we talk about all those things, the scale at this point, it's not even important. What's important is improving those numbers that we just went over just now.
Okay.
All right. Now, when she mentioned to you about your cholesterol levels, did she mention any of these other numbers? Did she mention the bad cholesterol? Did she mention anything about the good cholesterol?
Yeah.
Or even triglycerides? So what did she tell you about the bad? I mean, tell you about the bad cholesterol? Anything at all?
My bad was high.
It was high too?
Yeah. So I've lost 30, a little over 30 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I go get checked again in February, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I got checked in August, and it had changed slightly.
Mm-hmm.
But I did. It's funny when they give you that window of being checked in 6 months or what have you.
Right.
The games that you play with yourself mentally is
okay.
Okay, well, I have 6 months. Well, I don't need the whole 6 months. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can start it in 3 months.
Right.
Well,
is that what you told yourself?
Right. I had lost the weight, but the number hadn't drastically changed. So she's looking at me like, okay, you're losing the weight, and I'm proud of you.
Right.
But these numbers
are not changing.
There's something you still aren't doing.
Right.
So I still understood. I was still eating chips.
Oh.
Every day.
That would keep those numbers up.
Yes. Yep. So I was still eating chips. I'm not a real big soda drinker.
Mm-hmm.
But periodically I'll have a soda here and there. Maybe I can go months without drinking a soda.
Right.
And I may have one.
Mm-hmm.
But within that 3 months crunch time, now mind you, I missed the first 3 months because I was procrastinating.
Right.
And and like I said, those numbers, the scale changed. And she was, like I said, she was very proud of me. But those numbers that they told that I was still eating those chips at night, or I was still eating a lot of seafood.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, I go back in February.
Okay, fingers crossed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Janai Cochran posted, what if you're eating right, but you're still gaining weight? Well, that might be a thyroid issue, okay, depending on the sex, male, women. But then again, men have thyroid issues as well. So if you're eating right, we really have to evaluate that, because a lot of patients will say, well, Dr. Brown, I'm eating right. I only eat 1 meal a day. So my next question is, well, how much are you snacking? Okay. A lot of people don't realize they overcompensate meals by snacking a lot. And then that snacking can turn into an unhealthy meal. So just picking up a cookie here, grabbing a chip here, grabbing a little bit of ice cream here and there. I mean, all that stuff, it adds up. And that's what we call trans fat. Okay.
Right. Okay.
That's your trans fat. So those fats can keep those numbers going up, even though you're eating right, but those snacking, okay? And then you have the sodas, and then you have the juices, all those things. But as Sakithia was talking about earlier, her doctor was telling her that you have to stay away from some of the animals, which is true, because animals are high in saturated fat.
Right.
So I like to tell clients and patients that, when you in the stores, look at the back of the labels on some of these products that you have. Animals are the highest in saturated fats, and they carry some of the highest risks for people to have high cholesterol. Okay. That's just one of the risks that you can have to get high cholesterol. So when you say, well, what's a good saturated fat that you should stay under? And I tell people, as long as it's like 1.5 to 2, then you should be fine. Okay. So I try not to, and I mean, even putting it at 2 is still a little high. But when you have high cholesterol, when you have cardiovascular disease, when you have diabetes, when you have all these things, you want to make sure you are paying very close attention to those labels on the back of those on the back of the food. All right, you want to look at the saturated fat. Okay, and then there's another thing on there to where on the back of the food you'll see something called trans fat. So trans fat. I mean, Sakita, do you ever look at those things?
Yes, I do now. I'm very aware um of the content on the back.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my biggest thing is the snacking. And so I started doing Himalayan salt popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
So it was suggested to me that as soon as it comes in the house, if it's prepackaged, to just break it into snack bags automatically so that I can control the consumption of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that's a good way.
Yeah. Meal prep really helped me, and my sister helped me a lot with that.
Great.
So I guess changing or cutting things out, you have to always be prepared.
Right.
Absolutely. So I can't, I literally cannot do what everybody else do. Everything is not for everybody. Everybody's body's different. Mm-hmm. And it's my journey, and I'm responsible for my journey. Right. So I can't be around my friends that's, passing out chips. I usually bring my own. I'll bring me a snack bag of popcorn or something like that. Some people get tired of water. So I notice my consumption of water changes in the wintertime. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's because it's cold, but right. I've always drank room temperature water.
Okay.
But sometimes if I'm bored, I'll put some lemon or some mint in it, some stevia, mm-hmm. Or something like that.
Yeah. So some of the things that increases your risk, we named a few, which is saturated and trans fats. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about sedentary lifestyle, no exercising. Okay. That's another thing that can increase your risk of getting high cholesterol. Yeah. Why? Because the body is stagnant. All right. And that's when that good cholesterol that I was telling you guys about, that's when that number starts to go down. Because when you exercise, that helps to increase blood flow. It helps that blood to move through those vessels a lot better. Okay. That's why we tell people don't smoke. Cut out smoking, because what the smoking does, it decreases that good cholesterol. All right. That's what smoking does. It decreases, it develops fat pockets within those arteries, which allows nicotine and saturated trans fats to sit into those arteries more, which clogs those arteries to where they open like this and they just start to close. You don't want your arteries to close, because then here comes a heart attack and a stroke. All right. So definitely sedentary lifestyle. So at the beginning of your journey, how easy was it for you to get out and start moving? What are some of the things? Well, let's just talk about how easy it was. Was it easy or was it not easy? Let's talk about that first.
It was both. I've always worked out, but I've always just had that repeated cycle of working out, I stop. Mm-hmm. I work out, I stop. Because I actually suffer from chronic back pain. So, mm-hmm. The catch to it all, even with people that deal with chronic pain, moving actually helps. Mm-hmm. Like you feel sore, but it feels good.
Absolutely.
And so there's a difference between you hurting and being sore.
Right.
So I really had to separate the two, because sometimes when I first started, I would feel the soreness. No, I'm not gonna work out today.
Now, was that after you worked out and you were sore the next day? You just
Right.
didn't feel it. Okay.
Right.
So when you're sore like that, I mean, you tell people, well, I'm sore today. I'm not going to exercise. But if you got back out there and you exercise, then you actually feel better.
Feel much better.
And people
Yes.
don't even begin to realize that actually after working out, your body is so sore, you're like, God, I'm just going to lay here in that bed. But laying in the bed does not help the soreness. Actually getting up and moving about actually helps the soreness, okay? And then get up and move again the next day. The thing is that it starts off difficult in the beginning.
Mhm.
But if you start to make it a routine and make it a lifestyle and not just a yo-yo, as Sakithia mentioned earlier in the segment, no, don't make it a diet. Don't make it well, I'm gonna exercise today. Oh God, I don't feel like doing it today. I'm just gonna lay in the bed. Then you're gonna constantly keep doing that. Okay, make it part of your lifestyle. So you definitely want to do that. Do you have any things that you use to help to motivate you to exercise? Like some people, they're like, I need somebody to work out with me. Me, I tell them, you got it on by yourself. You can get it off by yourself. I mean, that's just me. But I mean, some people, they need that extra motivation. I mean, to be honest with you, I can work out by myself all day, but to be honest, I'm lying because I cannot work out by myself. I always have to have, and if I don't have it, I'm like, I cannot exercise. I have to have my music in my ears and
Yeah.
just the music, nobody else. And then when I'm running 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning, I have to have the beat of the music in my ear, and then I run to the beat of the music. Every time I hear a beat, my foot hits the pavement. And that's what that's what motivates me. I mean, yesterday I didn't think I was going to run because I'm like, where's my earphones? I don't have my earphones.
Yeah.
So I was tearing everything up, looking for a pair of earphones. But to be honest with you, that music in your ears take you away from
The journey. Yeah.
the journey of exercising.
Yeah.
But once you get into it, you actually start to feel better. So tell us some of the things that help to motivate you to move more.
You.
Why, thank you.
It's very encouraging when you're not alone.
Right.
So some I was working out with some ladies, and it was very motivating because all of us were in the same journey, dealing with the emotional roller coaster. Because once you lose the weight, you really have to introduce yourself to that new person.
Absolutely.
And then you have to be dedicated to keep it there, to be there in it.
Right.
You got to break some bad habits, and
Absolutely.
it is an emotional roller coaster. A lot of people don't talk about the emotional part of getting fit, changing your diet, breaking generational things that you were taught. Because now we're learning milk isn't good for us. But generationally, like I said earlier, my mom yo-yo diet. So it was like, okay, I'll buy a dress a size smaller, and for this party I want to get into the dress, and I'll just go on a diet for 2 weeks. I watched her do that, I want to say from 7 on. And it became my cycle.
Right.
It actually became my vicious cycle
Right.
of emotional eating.
Yeah.
And so there were layers to my journey.
Right.
And the thing of it is, if you can hang in there through the rough part, because it does get better, but the rough patch, and you really got to be honest with yourself. Like now, sometimes I still run into these periods where I just I have to catch myself, so to speak. Like, whoa, no more of this.
Right.
Just you, okay, all right, you going back into this rabbit hole.
Right.
And so that's about awareness.
Right.
So it's like once you're in the journey and it's a lifelong journey, it's like every day it's a journey.
Right. It is a journey.
Every day you have to be mindful of these bad habits that you could fall into again. and nobody's there to stop you from doing it but you, because you're the only one that knows your triggers. You're the only one that knows your limits.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is, we put limits on ourselves,
right?
But we have to. That journey is tricky. When I was I listened to your podcast with the lady, I think it was last week,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, wow, she is like. When I was there, I was like, oh, that was me. You know, I cooked dinner for my family separate than mine.
Absolutely. Those are things that you have to do.
Yeah, I had to do everything separate.
Absolutely.
You know? And it's funny because your family will jump on board. Like, let me taste that.
Absolutely.
Or I catch my family eating something. And I'm like, no, you can't eat that because that's mine.
No, well, you're going to have to start fixing enough for everybody now, which is a great thing because, to be honest with you, Sakithia, high cholesterol, I mean, it stems from family history, like you said.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to learn to teach your family better eating habits. You're going to have to learn, and just like everybody else that's on this podcast, if you have a family history of diabetes, a family history of high blood pressure, family history of high cholesterol, just a family history, period, you're going to have to change that cycle, that vicious cycle, okay? My family, we have a history of diabetes in my family, high blood pressure, but I don't have any of them. I don't have any of them. They say it runs in the family. Well, you know, it ran the other way when it came my way. Okay.
And that's the thing, Shay.
Uh-huh.
You know, I was always so proud of, I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have diabetes. I don't have this. I don't have that. So I was so proud.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that I do have high cholesterol.
Right.
And it's like, okay, so if you were diagnosed with diabetes, or if you were diagnosed with high blood pressure, would you just accept it? No, I can honestly say that I wouldn't.
Well, most people think that when they get diabetes and when they get high blood pressure, that is the say all end all, you know, and there's nothing else that they can do. But just like you got it, these things can be reversed as well. Just like you're working so hard to get your cholesterol levels down. Well, guess what? You can work just as hard to get your diabetes down. And these are things that we practice, well, things that I practice in my office with patients and with my clients. We practice on healing them from the inside out. And I always tell my clients and my patients that the weight loss is just an added on bonus. Okay. The weight loss is going to come
agree with that.
But the goal is to focus on those numbers, your cholesterol number, your triglyceride, your LDL and your HDL. And then we look at those numbers again in 3 or 6 months. And we evaluate those numbers and say, okay, fine. How well did we do? But in the meantime, I'm still seeing my patients before we do those cholesterol levels, because I'm that doctor that is on top of my patients all the time. When I tell them I'm in your business, I am in your business. Prime example today, I had a new patient come in today, and this gentleman, he was so funny. I'm doing my assessment, and then I'm asking him, you know, about his blood. Yeah, I have a high blood pressure. And then he said, I ran out of my medication. Everybody always running out of medication. Right? I'm like, well, sir, your pressure's high. I know my blood pressure, that's serious business. Sir, I know it's serious business. Your pressure's high right now. Well, I need my medication, but it's serious business until, sir, do you smoke? Excuse me? Sir, do you smoke? Remember you told me your blood pressure is serious business. Sir, do you smoke? Yeah, doc, I smoke. I said, well, if you smoke, then, I mean, let's stop smoking. He said, I can stop anytime. I said, well, can you, sir? He said, yes, I can stop anytime, doc. I said, well, you know what? If you have cigarettes in your pocket, I said, give them here right now. Let's break them up and put them in the garbage. He paused and looked at me. I said, remember, your blood pressure is serious business, right? He took the cigarettes out of his pocket and he calmly, give them here. And he put them in my hand. I said, so am I going to be your new doctor? He said, yes. So I said, I'm going to throw your cigarettes in the garbage now. He said, doc, just take them out the pack and break them up, because if you just throw them in there, I'm going to go in there and get them. I said, no, you are not going to go in there and get them, because if you go in there and get them, that means that when you leave this office, that you will go and get them from the store as well. Okay. So that's what I mean. These are things that we have to do to say, you know what? I am serious about my health. Okay. And I'm going to take back control of my health. And these are things that we have to do. You cannot go back and forth with your health. There's no way that you can accomplish your goals by going back and forth. And especially when you get over the age, and I can't even say 50 anymore.
Wow.
I have to say the age of 30 and 40 now, because now our younger people are starting to adhere to older people illnesses and diseases, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes. All of our younger people, they are getting these things now. So I have to train all of my patients, all of my clients, anybody that I hold near and dear, to where we are going to start to learn to heal you from the inside out. Because there is no way possible that you can say, well, I'm going to get on the scale and the scale is going to tell me, that I'm losing weight and I'm doing good. No, the scale is not telling you anything. The scale is just saying you lost a couple of pounds. Just like Sakithia said earlier, I lost a couple of pounds, but I thought I was doing good. But you still was getting those chips. You still was.
I used to get so offended with that obesity thing, the chart. The BMI,
yeah.
You're sitting in the doctor's office and you're reading the chart, and I'm like, obese.
Yeah. Oh. Well, in my office, we don't say that word. We call it an unhealthy weight, because that can be a little offensive to people. And I like the word unhealthy weight better anyway. Yeah. But when I'm documenting for insurance reasons, I have to say
use that word.
Obesity, morbid obesity, overly morbid obesity, because people BMIs have jumped up from 40 all the way up. I had somebody as high as 73 as a BMI. Okay. Wow. Yes. Wow. And I'm still working with that person still today. I will not give up on anyone.
So what is your so my weakness is snacking. What is your how would you go about addressing one of your patients that says, because I wasn't a big meal eater when I gained the weight. It was just junk food.
Right.
It was just junk food. So I actually did go and deal with the emotional eating that I would do. I dealt with that, but I still snack, but I don't snack as much as I used to.
Right. Well, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Now, I was going to say, one of the things that I can tell people that are like, oh God, I love to snack. Well, you got to stop it. Okay. But I'm going to tell you things that you can do for the snacking.
Okay.
But I'm going to say this. You're getting older every day. True. And the foods that we used to eat when we were younger, those snacky foods, well, guess what? The foods that we liked when we were younger, guess what? They don't like you. Okay? And you might like your potato chips. You might like your little Snickers bar. You might like your ice cream. You might like your beer, your whatever, your sodas, because you used to have them when you were younger. But now you're older and your body's saying, look, can I be real now? Your body's saying, look, bruh. Keep playing with me, all right? I done gave you a few signs, letting you know. You're getting short of breath and you ain't listening to me yet? All right, do something else. Oh, you think you got acid reflux, okay? Do it again. Do it again. Have another piece of that fried chicken when I done gave you some heartburn, what you think is some heartburn, but it's a silent heart attack. You cannot eat those foods anymore because you have to learn to eat foods that's going to give you a better quality of life.
Right.
We're not young anymore. Understand that part.
And you can't want it and don't do the work.
That part. You're going to have to learn to eat foods that's going to give you a better quality of life. So the snacking, I like to snack. I like cookies. Well, start cooking healthier cookies. Start making your own food. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to go out and buy the snacks. I mean, make your own. Or somebody posted up here, drink some water. It'll fill you up. That is another thing that you can do as well. Before you eat your food,
Yeah.
Drink an ounce glass of water. I tell people that all the time because they're like, I'm still hungry after I eat. Or try this. And it works. Drink a full 8-ounce glass of water every time before you eat. I mean, even, oh God, I forgot. Well, you know what? Have little small water bottles in your house.
Yeah. Another thing I was doing when I go to a restaurant, I immediately when I sat down, I asked for lemon, some cut lemons. I put them in my water, and I asked for a box.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was doing, and I would automatically divide that food right then and box it and put it in a bag.
Right.
Yeah. So those were a lot of tricks that I was, that I was doing that helped me.
And these are things that you're going to have to do. Okay. Some snacks. People are like, well, I don't like that. Well, you know what? Do you like having a heart attack? Do you like having diabetes? Do you like having high cholesterol? Okay. My go-to snack can be one of my cold pressed juices that I make. I love making cold pressed juices because sometimes like today, I didn't have dinner. Okay, fine. I didn't eat dinner. Well, you know what? I had a cold pressed juice on the way coming home, which was about maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock coming home from work. And that's fine. And I'm sitting here right now drinking water. As you can see, I just pour some out. All right. But that's what I do. Okay. Are you going to snack before you go to bed? No, I'm not. I'm fine. But these are things that you have to do. Now, what if you did want a snack and you wanted something else to eat? Well, you can have fruits and vegetables all day. If you're diabetic, the best fruits that you can have is berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, apple. That is your best snack to have when you're diabetic. Okay. Now, if you want to have some type of juice or whatever have you, I tell people don't drink juice when you're diabetic. If you do, have juice, have water. Okay. That's something that you can do as well. Is it the best thing to do? Well, you know what? If people have to have it, you can't stop people from having what they want to have, So I tell people if that's something you want, then, you can have it. But half and half. I mean, you got to meet me halfway. Patients, they already know. I don't work for them. We work together. And these are things that we do to work together. We have to learn to eat foods that's going to give us better quality of life. Fried chicken is not going to do it. It's not. Okay. Eating those chips at night is not going to do it because guess what? You're not as active as you used to be when you're younger. Your metabolism has slowed.
Yeah.
Okay. And disease, when metabolism slows, disease starts to set in. Okay. So we have another
automatically.
Question. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Disease starts to set in. Absolutely. What are your thoughts on dry cranberries? I tried to eat them in lieu of candy and sweet. Dry cranberries, absolutely. It's a berry. It is a berry. It's a good berry as well. So cranberries are good as well. They're a little high. They're a little high in sugar a little bit. Yeah, for a diabetic. But if you don't have any diabetes, then absolutely, berries are good. Another question. What about making your own juices? Absolutely make your own juice. Yes. Invest in your health. I tell people this every day, all day. Either you pay now for your health or you will pay later. It's just a choice. I think I posted something on Facebook the other day. Those that don't have time for exercise will find out later that they're going to have to find time for illnesses and diseases. All
wow.
Right? These are things that just happen. They will. But I also tell people as well, if you do make your juices, just make sure that you have yourself a good machine, invest yourself in a good machine, and just start making your own juices. And that could be one of your snacks because that's a snack. It's my dinner. It's my go-to. Now, Shay, do you eat the bad food sometime? Yeah, I eat bad food sometime. Halloween, I had 2 Reese's Buttercup and I had a Snicker, like them little miniature Snickers bars. But then that was Monday. But did you guys see me run 5 miles on Tuesday? Those are things that we do. Okay. I cannot run a bad diet, but I don't have a bad diet either. Okay. A lot of people think that, well, I exercise. I'm going to have to get in the gym and exercise to get this weight off. Understand that you cannot outrun a bad diet. I feel that you got something to say about that, Sakiti. I see you looking.
You tell the truth because I tried the intermittent fasting, right? Mm-hmm. And what I found that I was doing wrong because I started gaining weight. Well, I was gaining weight because I was eating too much processed food
that's
in the window that I gave myself.
Right.
So like I said, a lot of things work
Uh-huh.
and a lot of things uh don't work because we think we can still. Okay, so I would start eating from 12 to 7
Uh-huh.
or 11 to 7. And so I went and got because I don't eat meat, but I do eat the fish and the crabs and all that. Okay,
Right.
so but I'm trying to, do better with that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but during that window, I was doing vegan pudding. I was doing the Himalayan salt
Uh-huh.
chips or the Himalayan salt popcorn. But guess what I was doing? Eating a
Oh,
whole
sir.
bag. Or I would, and you can't trick calories. So
No, you
if you
cannot.
eat half the bag in the afternoon, and I'm like, okay, it's 6 o'clock. I gotta hurry up and get my snacks in. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I would be, scarfing down the rest, some more popcorn. Next thing I know, I ate the whole bag. When you look on the back of the calorie thing, I'm like, oh my goodness, I've eaten the whole
Exactly.
bag. So,
Serving sizes. Talk about serving sizes.
yeah, things have to be in moderation. You can't, and like I said, I had to do the work. I love popcorn, but I cannot eat the whole bag. I just can't. Mentally, I can.
Yeah, you
Physically, I
probably
should
could
not.
mentally. Mm-hmm.
And mentally, I should not. Because that gives you the allowance mentally that, oh, okay, I got away with it and I lost 2 pounds. But then you do it 2 more times during the week. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now you're trying to outrun the calories, like you said.
Yep.
And now instead of losing, because your weeks aren't the same every week. So now, okay, I couldn't work out on Monday. I couldn't work out on Tuesday
Uh-huh.
because life threw something in there. But what I really had to do was make an appointment for myself for my training.
Mm-hmm.
I literally had to block off that time for me. And instead of trying to outrun calories,
Mm-hmm.
I made the change.
You have to make that change. You have to make that change. There's no way that you can outrun a bad diet. You
Right.
have
The
to.
processed food had to be, yeah. The processed food, you think, okay, well, it's vegan, but it's still, it's still processed food. You can't consume it every day. You can't consume certain things every day. It's just not, it's not sustainable and it's not healthy for you.
No, and it's not. It is not. So we talked about the exercise. We talked about the diet. Okay. So what is your game plan now?
My game plan really is to submit what I know to be true for me and my journey
Mm-hmm.
in my life. Like it can't be because I had a bad day, I'm going to go get me some ice cream. Because
Right.
I realized the emotion passes, the calories don't.
Mm-hmm. No, that's not.
And then you feel so bad once you go to the doctor again because you've been caught.
Mm-hmm.
You've been caught again. And like I said, you can lie to yourself, but once that doctor shines a light on what you're doing with that blood work, the truth comes out.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it does.
And to piggyback on what you were saying about internally, my
Mm-hmm.
daughter, my youngest daughter went plant-based. She cut out meat,
Mm-hmm.
and because she has eczema, and the
Mm-hmm.
doctor kept telling her, look, it's from the inside. That's something is triggering your skin with these rashes, but it's from the inside. You need to take more stock in what you're putting in your body. And then
Mm-hmm.
once she did that, she didn't have to she didn't have to worry about the dermatologist as much. You know what I mean? She doesn't have
Uh-huh.
those outbreaks anymore. And plant-based and all that is not for everybody. It really isn't. And some people don't enjoy it. And that's when a chef comes in, or someone that can show you how to um uh use less salt. And that's when my sister comes in and she helps me. Okay, you want to eat this? I'm gonna show you a healthy version of it. So
Absolutely.
when I'm cooking for my family and they want white rice, or they want, I was doing brown rice. Now I've done
Mhm.
away with the brown rice and I do quinoa. So I'll fix me a whole bunch of quinoa and put it in the refrigerator. So when I have my vegetables, or um sis will make me a stir fry, I'll put it over my quinoa instead of the rice.
That is
So
very
it was just little changes that I started making, and then the small changes became big changes. And I know for a lot of people, peer pressure is out there and it's not going anywhere. But you have to uh take your mindset and your journey with you when you're around the peer pressure.
well. The peer pressure could be just jealous that you are doing well, and they can't stand to see the
Talk
fact that
about
you're
it.
doing well, and they want to mess you up.
Oh,
That's what
hey
that peer
Shay,
pressure is all about,
that's a whole nother segment. You know that?
girl.
Because
That's what that peer pressure
yeah,
is.
because
Okay,
people will sabotage your journey
real
with
quick,
the little things that they say. Oh,
real quick.
I went out to a birthday party one time,
Uh
and
huh.
everyone was overweight. Like everyone at that table was just, and I'm
Yeah.
not, just overweight. And so I come in, I decided to eat before I went.
Uh huh.
I ate a little
Yeah.
something before I went. So the girl has chicken dripping with the sauce, and she's and looked at me with her face turned up. Oh, you not eating? You on a diet or something? And I said, no, I just don't eat past a certain time. I had to learn little tricks to tell people,
Nice.
so
Well,
that,
it is what it is.
yeah, so that I didn't feel some kind of way. So when the waiter came
Right.
past, I said, can I get a plate of vegetables,
Yeah.
celery, carrots? I
You can
had
have
that,
that all
and I
day.
had a little bit of ranch on the side. And I went to the bar and got me 2 glasses of large water, and
Mm-hmm.
I drank one right there, and brought the other one to the table.
Yep.
Because I didn't, for a while I didn't even know alcohol played a part in.
Yes, it
uh
does. Big time weight gain. Yes, it
yeah,
does.
yeah,
Yes, it
I
does.
didn't
Yes,
I
it does.
didn't So a lot of times when I was playing with that cholesterol, I was drinking too. So I did I had no idea.
You were just enjoying yourself, just lying up and down the scale, huh? So
So yeah, sometimes it's not just that scale, it's that blood work. But you
it
gotta
is.
want it.
It is.
You
You
gotta
got
want it.
the bottom line is that this is something that is very serious, and it's like Sakitia said, this is something that you have to want. Okay, and we are coming up on the end of our hour, but we hope that someone learned something from our presentation that we did today. We want to thank Sakitia and Chef Ashanta for coming on our show today. Sakitia, thank you so much for sharing your story with our
Thank
public
you.
today. I'm quite sure they have learned a lot, probably back in the back laughing at your little self, your little jokes. But we do appreciate you.
Well, I'll
We
check back with you in February and let you know about those numbers.
Well, you know what? We're also doing a segment called Opening Up a New Me for the holidays, which you are more than welcome to be a part of that. We will be having guests to come back on our show in December. If you would like to be a guest on our show, just we can get together after the show and we can talk about how you can be one of our guests.
Okay.
Maybe that might help to lower your cholesterol levels as well. You could talk about things that you to get the weight off, to improve your numbers. Okay, so yes, we would love to have you back on our show again. Those that would like to contact Chef Ashanta and Sakitia, this is their information here. They are located in Greenbelt, and they are available for private events. They are available for any type of cooking events, and this is their email address. So please, please, please give them a call if you are interested in having them cook for you. Chef Ashant has already told you that she cooks with healthy stuff, so you wouldn't have to worry about anything. And plus, if you have her on as one of the chefs cooking for you, then you know she's there to answer any questions that you may be having about healthy living, healthier foods, you know, that you could incorporate into your diet. So this is their information. Again, I'm going to post their telephone number as well, which is 301-256-1904. They have the best food. I'm telling you guys, these guys can really, really cook. If anybody is interested in services from Fit for Life, we have it down there at the bottom. Consultations, they're free, okay, for right now. I have my website there at sbbfitforlife.org. Or you can either call 443-470-9140. We have a couple of announcements. Miss Ernestine Shepherd will be in North Carolina this weekend. She will be at the Conference Center at Friendship Missionary Baptist Church. Now, if we have any of our North Carolinians on the line with us, I think I did see someone on the line with us today. This is where she's going to be at. And if you want to register for any of her class, the telephone number is 866-780-7904. Please register for her class, and let her know that Shay Brown sent you, okay? That's my mama. Oh, there you go, Cynthia. She said, I am here. All right, I see you, girl. All right, you make sure you register for mama class, all right? Isn't she a sweetheart? Everybody just loves her. All right, so we have one more question. What is the healthiest type of beverage? Wine, white tequila, anything that is white, okay? Vodka, that's a good one, but you can't drink the whole bottle. Like Sakithia said, in moderation.
Well, you know what I also did was I went and got a flavored vegan, you know, the mixer to add to the vodka, you know, because that was the thing. The mixed drinks had so much sugar in them that I went and got my own. I went and got my own.
It works. All right. Cynthia says she's gonna call tomorrow. Cynthia, you make sure you tell mama that I sent you, girl, okay? So also we want to do some what else we have here? Please provide your number again in the chat. All right, so with Sakithia, their telephone number is
301.
The number is that the number for Ernestine? So I'm gonna put them all up there. The number for Ernestine Shepherd is 866-780-7904. Again, I'm gonna put all three numbers up there. My number's down at the bottom, so I know they're not talking about mine. Ernestine Shepherd, to register for her class in North Carolina, will be in Charlotte, North Carolina. That is at 866-780-7904. Again, 866-780-7904. She will be at the Conference Center at Friendship Missionary Baptist Church. Please tell her that Shay Brown sent you. Okay. If you guys are looking for a chef in the area in Maryland, we have Sakithia here, which books all of Chef Ashanta's shows and her events. Their telephone number is 301-256-1904. Again, that telephone number is 301-256-1904. Okay. If you guys are looking for a chef or just somebody just to give you some good information about healthy cooking. All right. Those that are looking for a change in lifestyle habits. Okay. I am a nurse practitioner, plant-based nutritionist, personal trainer, all of the above. I call myself the trilogy. Okay. I am taking on clients in state of Maryland and out of state of Maryland as well. You can see my website is down at the bottom along with my telephone number, which is 443-470-9140. If anybody wanted to call for a consultation or go to my website to where you can schedule your own consultation to a time that is mostly convenient for you. Okay, guys. One more shout out that I want to give before we go to this next question. I have been having a lot of graphic stuff that's been being done, a lot of designs. I have a new marketer. His name is Jethro Coe, and I just want to tell him thank you. He has been doing such a wonderful job of doing a lot of designs for me. It is JC the Third Enterprise LLC, service disabled veterans own small businesses. He is an entrepreneur. Does the mostest is what I want to say. Okay, what he has done for me in just within an hour's notice. Can you put this flyer together? And he just put it together like it was nothing. So if anybody's interested in graphic art, digital art, Jethro Cole, he is the person that you want to contact, and that is his website down at the bottom. J. Cole at JC IIENT.com. Okay, that's how you guys will be able to contact him. If you guys have any questions about any of the information that I posted, please send me a message on Facebook. Just send it to Fit for Life, and I will get everything and direct it to where it needs to go. Okay, so we're going to handle these next 4 comments that we have down here at the bottom. All right. Miss McFadden said, thank you. All right, Miss Freeman, thank you so much for chiming in with us. Miss Cynthia, girl, I miss you. I can't wait to meet you. All right. She and I, we did modeling together. So we kind of like was joined at the hip. I think we were the oldest people in the modeling class. So we were kind of like sticking together. So I definitely appreciate her. And she has the number for the classes with Miss Ernestine. Does Miss Ernestine hold virtual training? Yes, she does. Okay, absolutely. She does hold virtual training. And I have to get you that information because I don't have it offhand. But I know that she is on Facebook, which is Ernie, ERNIE. Let me see if I can put it up here for you guys. ERNIE, Shepherd. She's on Facebook. Friend her. And you guys will be able to take her virtual classes. So I put her information in the chat group, not the chat group, but I put it on the website. All right, Miss Freeman. So you should be able to friend her on Facebook. And that's her professional site. So friend her on Facebook. She'll accept you as a friend, and any information that she has regarding her classes, where she's going to be at, appearances and stuff like that, you guys will have all access to that. If you have any issues getting to her, guess what? She's just nothing but a phone call away from me, and I can get the information for you and get you connected with her. She loves people, and I love connecting people with her. She is an absolute tool. 86 years old, and she's still doing marvelous work. So yes, wow. I will connect you with her. All right. So thank you so much, guys, for chiming in. Cynthia, you better get with my mama. All right. And that's right. That's right. You love my mom. That's right. Keep loving her. We all love her. Okay. And Mr. Cole, sir, it was nothing but a pleasure, sir. All right. Nothing but a pleasure. So we look forward to see more of your work being done on the SBB Fit for Life website. And that is on Facebook Live. That is on our Facebook site. And we will be posting more information. Of course, Mr. JC Cole will be posting all of his graphic designs up there for you guys to see. And again, if you guys are interested in his services, my services, Sister Serving You, Ernestine Shepherd, anything that we can provide you guys with, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for chiming in tonight. Anything that you want to say to the to our viewers tonight before we sign off, Takithia?
Anybody that's on a journey, just keep at it. It's sometimes it's slow, but anything fast, when we do it fast, it's not sustainable. There's no quick fix to this. It's a lifelong journey, especially when you reach a certain age. You just have to stay true to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Got to stay true it. I want to tell everybody, thank you so much for chiming in. I gain nothing by you chiming into these podcasts except better quality of life for you. Why? Because your health matters. Thank you so much for chiming in.
Thank you.